Oh, hello, everybody. This is Louise Eddington. I am the Cosmic Owl of Cosmic Owl Astrology. And whoa, we are in quite the time right now. Oh, so we are about to have the total solar eclipse on December the 14th on my birthday at 23 degrees Sagittarius. I'm actually going to do a bit of screen sharing and talk about where we're at now because we are in a crazy day today. And I want to talk to you a bit about Eris today. But before I dive in, please, if you like my videos, please subscribe and maybe hit the little bell to get notified when I upload new videos, and give the video a like or leave me a comment. I did intend doing a lot more videos, and I've been out for about a month with probably was COVID, I'm not sure. Long story, but all good now. And I just want to really kind of dive into these energies. So bear with me 1 second. Current chart. I think I am not sharing the right thing. Bear with me. There we go. That's better. So here we are, December the 10th. And as I speak, Pluto and Eris are having their third of 5 exact squares. We had one last February, at the end of January. We had one in June. We've got 2 more next year, which will be in August and October, I believe. But this is the middle square. And Eris and Pluto are 2 of our slowest moving bodies, so they do not square very often, let alone in these signs. I'm still trying to find when they last did it. And I'll find it, but it all takes time, all these things. And earlier in the day as well, Venus was at 23 degrees. So if I even go back kind of an hour or so, you can see Venus was at 23 degrees, and early today sextiled Pluto and was in conjunct to Eris. And then we're going to have a new moon solar eclipse on Monday, December the 14th at 23 degrees. And that will be the third of 6 new moons at 23 degrees. Now, I've talked endlessly about 23 to the Discordians. 23 is the number of Eris. It's also the number of chaos magic, according to William Burroughs and people like that. In numerology, it's a very powerful number. It's the most human number. It's the number of digits we've got: 10 fingers, 10 toes, 2 ears, and a nose. And yeah, 23, yeah. And it's the number of pairs of chromosomes humans have got. It's also 23 days is our biorhythmic cycle, and it takes 23 seconds for the human body to pump blood around the body. There's lots of other things about 23, but 23 has been just so prevalent in our zeitgeist, or whatever you want to call it, this year. We've had lots of 23s show up, and it's over and over again. And Eris has spent much of this year at 23 degrees, and she's very slow moving, so she will spend a lot more time at 23. But then Pluto's going to move on and go back again. And I think the next 2 squares are at 24 degrees. But we are being changed as we move into this new era. You know, we've got Pallas Athena at 1 degree Aquarius now, and we're about to have the Great Conjunction on December the 21st at 0 degrees Aquarius. And we are moving into the age of Aquarius, but I think all these 23s are really, really important. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this more. Now, I want to talk about my view of Eris. I see her as the girl with the dragon tattoo, basically. It was one of my favorite books, and I hadn't really thought of her as this until I had a conversation with an artist friend of mine, Chloe Plasma. And you can go to her page and you can actually see she has done a magnificent painting of Eris, as I kind of visioned her a little bit. But anyway, Lisbeth in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo was an outsider. She was at the fringes. She wasn't always that pleasant. She could be a little bit mean and violent herself, but because she had been abused herself by people, by the system, so she was very hurt and enraged and out for revenge. So a lot of people have called Eris, the Eris energy in astrology, have called her, hatred and anger. And well, yeah, she does have some of that in her, but it's because of how she's being treated. And even in the myth, Eris, the goddess, she was treated, she didn't fit in. She didn't fit into the beautiful people, the elites. And so she was an outsider. And part of that was because of her nature, because of how ugly she was. But we've all got our ugly side, and isn't it time we all embraced that wholeness of ourselves, of this shadow, the kind of meaner side, the ugly side? Are we all love and light? I'm not. Are you? I don't know if I ever am. But anyway, this is my view of Eris. I see her as like Lisbeth in the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, kind of this androgynous, kind of punky, um, sort of just living on the edges of society, not included in what's acceptable in society, and even partly not wanting to be part of that. Okay. And what Lisbeth does in Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is exposes corruption and exposes abuse and detritus. And Eris does that. You know, she does that in a big way, and she's doing it in our systems, in our politics, in our institutions. Um, it's in all of it. Some are worse than others, so it's no good saying one side is all good and one side is all bad. There's levels of it everywhere because power corrupts. you know and there are some good people, of course, in power, but overall power seems to corrupt. And she's exposing just the systems. It's not just about the people as well, the holes in the systems where they're not working. There's looks like we're going to have a no Brexit deal. They cannot agree there. The American election is in chaos with what's going on here. I'm not going to talk about it. Also, with COVID and healthcare systems starting to collapse and being overwhelmed and things like that, Eris is ripping off the band-aid of what's not working, or she's pulling down the white picket fence to go all David Lynch on you. So this is the American noir kind of energy. She is looking into those dark places. And then she's in square to the shit excavator, Pluto. Pluto has been digging up and exposing as well. So the two of them together are just ripping it down. Okay. I can't tell you where it's going to end up. That's not what I'm here for today. And I just wanted to talk about why this is a peak energy of this today. Add to the fact we have the sun right on the south node here, just before the eclipse. So we are in the eclipses now. We've been in it for a while, but the sun is about to hit that south node, shining that big old light on the old beliefs that we need to let go of and open our mind to the new beliefs to new ideas, new thought in the North Node in Gemini, as well as this Aquarian energy developing as well. So and then Venus, I didn't mention Venus. Venus is our values, our relationships. She's in Pluto ruled Scorpio. She was activating all of this as well. And her inconjunct to Eris is kind of saying, you might need to break off some kind of relationships or leave some old stuff behind as we face this shadow. So it's a very big day. The eclipse itself, we've got that coming up on Monday. Poor me, I should have been going to Chile for it. In fact, I would be arriving there now, but COVID meant our flights were cancelled. But it is what it is, You can't always have what you want. But let's have a look. I'm going to get the actual eclipse chart up. We've got so much happening on the eclipse, so I do want to talk about it. Incidentally, the Weirdly Magical podcast, Jen and I talked about this over at great length, but this is just pure astrology. You'll see we still have Eris and Pluto at 23 degrees, but they're starting to move apart, but that's really, really still in square for this eclipse. Juno and Venus are together, so it's the Hieros Gamos in Juno, and Venus are kind of earthly relationship. So there's the sacred relationship, and Venus, the more earthly relationships, all in Scorpio, in that deeply bonded sign. We're really beginning to realize that we are connected, all of us, every one of us, to each other. There's no separation anymore. We're kind of in this cosmic kind of maya of connecting to each other, and what we do, one does affects another one. We're beginning to realize not everybody is. Also at that 28 degrees, we have Jupiter. And 28, of course, is a 28-1, but Jupiter is finishing up its time in Capricorn, saying we've learnt these lessons. It's time to create new kind of rules and laws to live by that are more based on natural law. Also, we have Haumea here, which is rebirth. Okay, Haumea is one of the newly discovered dwarf planets that's expanding our consciousness, and she is there at 28 Libra, saying we have this opportunity to rebirth, and all of this is one's new beginnings. Okay, at the eclipse itself, 23 degrees, it's all in aspect to Eris. Okay, the eclipse, well, I'm 2 minutes off. It's like minutes away from an exact trine to Eris. We are being shaken out of our socks right here. Nothing is going to be the same after 2020. And this is kind of one of the crescendos as we finish up the year and start to have more forward thinking energy. That doesn't mean it's all going to be positive moving forward. I'm a positive, an optimistic Sagittarius. So I tend to see the good side. Either I see the good side or I think, well, I can't do anything to personally stop this or control it. So I'm just going to go, it is what it is. And I've got to go with it as it develops. But this is a trine. And, Mercury is under the beams of the sun. So our minds are being kind of dazzled by the lights. And that's in trine to Mars. So it's a highly energetic, forward-thinking eclipse that is saying, like, we have to leave some major stuff behind. We have to break free from some major stuff here. Okay. So there's all of that. Also, on this eclipse, we have this mutable Grand Cross building, and that's bringing the change. We've got Neptune in Pisces, which is really the connection with Source, but also bringing confusion. We've got Vesta here, in Virgo, the sign of wholeness, and she represents devotion. And incidentally, I have 2 words for 2021. I have liberation and devotion, because we're finding what we really want to devote our time to, what we want to. I'm not talking about devotion as in worship. I'm talking about what we want to devote ourselves to in 2021. We're really figuring that out. So this is just a quick video for you all. Incidentally, on the eclipse, we've also got Lilith over here, also at 23 degrees. So we've got these 2 outsider women. Black Moon Lilith was very much an outsider as well, because she wouldn't play the game of the patriarchy. She would not submit to the man. So this is not feminism. This is just about, the rise of that darker, more meaty kind of shadow energy, and realizing that we all have that in us too, that we can't control it all, that we can't make it all nice and plaster it over and say, hey, you have to look a certain way, you have to act a certain way. Everything's murkier than that. I just saw a thing where a boy had been suspended from school in Utah for wearing nail polish because the dress code said boys can't wear nail polish. Isn't it time we move beyond this? There's shades, there's all kinds of things in between. And anyway, Sagittarius, the eclipse in Sagittarius is on the nodes, because the eclipses are always on the nodes. And this is the axis of truth and knowledge and understanding. So, we are having our truth, knowledge and understanding blown open. So, major times. We're 4 days away from this big eclipse. Incidentally, it's 2 minutes 10 seconds long. That's a long eclipse. It's only visible from in totality from Chile or Argentina across Patagonia, which is where I was going to go, but that's okay. And but it's happening no matter where you are. It's happening. And if you have something around 23 degrees, particularly Sagittarius or Gemini, but also Virgo, Neptune, Virgo and Pisces, you'll be really affected. 23 degrees anywhere in the chart, you will be aspected, but it's about to blow my socks off because it's right on my sun. All right, my loves. And don't forget to subscribe, and nice to be back doing videos. I will talk to you later. Bye.